Hey everybody, welcome to Recast That. This is the podcast where we take people who love movies and television shows and we make them recast some of their favorites, or in this case, a movie that we know for a fact Hollywood is going to make at some point in time, but we're going to be the ones to tell them exactly who to cast. So, with all that being said, we are recasting today, or casting for the first time, the Hollywood movie version of Tiger King. And we've got the five of the main characters that we're going to be casting here today with real-life celebrities. Let's meet our casting directors. So joining me from right across the street over on US 19, right here in Palm Harbor, Florida, say hello to Mr. Jeff.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Can't wait for this one.
Oh, man. Jeff, how far are you into the show right now?
Well, we just kind of caught up with you guys. I think we made it through 5 episodes in the past night or two.
Oof.
And, oh, boy. What a ride.
This show isn't even primarily set in Florida, but is there a more Florida TV show than Tiger King?
Oh, this is Florida all the way. I mean, you just need a definition of Florida man, put up the show, and you got it.
Oh, man. So joining us, our third casting agent, we'll call him today, from Spring Hill, Florida. Say hello to Mr. Mario.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Mario, have you seen all the episodes at this point? You're all caught up?
All 8.
So even the new one that launched this morning, you watched it?
This morning, yeah.
Oh, man. What'd you think of it?
If I can get my 41 minutes back, I'd be happy. Yeah, it wasn't anything exciting. It was basically 7 minutes per person. That was basically it. And Joe McHale going ahead and doing his own little shtick.
Hey, Joel McHale got paid Joel McHale money, okay?
Yes, he got 5 figures.
He got his money. He's not complaining. He did it all from his house. He wore his little Apple. You notice they all wore the little Apple earbuds.
Yeah, and Rick had it cockeyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
From Oslo.
All right, so you've met the 3 of us. We have a special 4th joining us today, maybe for the last time in a little while. We're going to be joined by Miss Nikki. How you doing, Nikki?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Nikki, what are your thoughts on the Tiger King phenomenon?
You know, I'm like a true crime junkie, so when I heard about it, I was like, oh, true crime show. I don't really consider it a true crime show. It's mostly just crazies. But, I mean, it was fine. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I haven't watched the new episode, but we did finish episode 7 last night, so I'm caught up on most of it.
So you know how it all ends, at least. Jeff doesn't know that yet, so Jeff has not seen the ending. Yeah.
True crime is a stretch. Crazy people, absolutely.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of evidence thrown around, so.
Well, that's the next 2 episodes. But, so Jeff and I were talking about this at the onset here, but does this not seem like a show that really should take place entirely in Florida?
Oh, it absolutely. I mean, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, are they in Florida? Are they in Florida? And then they said Oklahoma. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I thought it was in Florida. It had to be. I mean, I guess part of it was in Florida. The Big Cat Rescue. My husband, Mike, he actually has a picture of him at the Big Cat Rescue in Tampa. So, well before this aired. But
yeah. Having lived in both Oklahoma and Florida, yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, neither were shocking.
So here's how this is going to work. We have got 4 people here. We all need to make a consensus on who we're going to cast as these 5 characters. So today, we're going to cast the following 5 characters in Tiger King the movie. We're going to start by casting Joe Exotic's husband, John Finley. Then we're going to move over to South Carolina and cast Doc Antle. Then we're jumping on over back to Nevada and Oklahoma. We're going to cast Mr. Jeff Lowe. Then we're hopping all the way back over here to Big Cat Rescue here in Tampa, Florida. We're going to cast Carol Baskins, and then we're going to end it off with Mr. Joe Exotic. Now, there's 4 of us here, so it's impossible for us to have a set, tiebreaker. So this is what we're going to do, and we're going to try this. This is going to be new. But after we reveal our 4 answers, our 4 casting people, at that point in time, you're going to be given a chance. If you want to throw any other names out there, you can do that. And if you're watching at home, feel free to throw some names in the chat as well. If there's someone that you're passionate about, throw their name in there.
Yeah.
But once we have all that done, every person on here is going to be tasked with casting 2 people to move to the next round of casting. Once we get there, we'll have to whittle it down ourselves. But we're going to start with John. So John, Joe's husband, we're going to start there. And Mr. Mario, you're going to start us off. So who is your choice to cast to play John Finley?
Well, for John Finley, I had 3 total. And then when we cut it down to 1 per person, I went with my 3rd choice, which was Adam Levine. So just looking at the facial structure, just looking at specifically the chest tattoos and things like that, thank God he has his teeth. But, I think it would go ahead and make an interesting John Finley. On top of it, he actually did really well in Begin Again back in 2014-15 with Kira Cedric.
Never saw it.
It was with Mark Ruffalo. You would like it.
Yeah, that was a good film.
Good movie.
Okay, so Nikki's seen it.
At least somebody had, thank God.
And we have Sam running the behind-the-scenes stuff here. Sam, go do me a favor. So everyone has got a point of reference here. Go ahead and throw a picture of John Finley for us, if you could. So I could see a striking resemblance there to Adam Levine. I see it. Okay. So I'm up next. And when it comes to casting John Finley, like I wanted to go someone who was significantly younger than whoever we were going to cast as Joe Exotic. And not knowing kind of where that age range would be for Joe, I opted to go really, not really young, but young, because we know that Joe, as we've heard multiple times, prefers younger guys. So I went really young. I think this actor is around 30 years old, but he looks younger than that. And you've seen him in probably 8 of the highest grossing movies of the past 20 years. I want to cast Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe. Hear me out. Hear me out. He's young. He's short. He's really in shape, and we know Joe likes guys that are really in shape. And come on, if you want people to see this movie, you're going to watch Daniel Radcliffe do it. You're going to watch Daniel Radcliffe in that role. I don't care that he's not American. He can do a Southern accent. I have no problem with it. Oh, man. We got 2 really, really off-the-wall casting so far. Nikki, you're up next. Who did you and Mike want to cast?
So, this was the first name that just came to my head, so I just stuck with it. I thought he'd be good. I went with an SNL guy. I went with Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He has that look about him, kind of that. I mean, he could easily do the teeth, and I just saw I could just see him in that role.
That's a hell of a picture of Pete Davidson right there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Mike likes the name Nikki Exotic. So Pete Davidson, huh? All right. I mean, I can get behind that. I could definitely see that. Jeff, I think you're up last here. Who are you going with?
Well, I've got kind of a wild card here, but I really think this guy could pull it off. He's a very specific character as well. I'm going with skinny Jonah Hill.
I like the fact that you had to put skinny in there so we knew which version of Jonah Hill you wanted.
Well, if you say Jonah Hill, the first thing you don't think of is skinny Jonah Hill. However, when he got in shape, I think he could easily pull this off.
All right. I love the little caveat by Mike down there. Skinny Jonah Hill. So we've got so far a hodgepodge of Hollywood actors that we're looking to cast as John Finley, and that includes Adam Levine, Daniel Radcliffe, Pete Davidson, and Jonah Hill. Was there anybody else we wanted to have considered here?
One of mine was let me go back to the text message. It was the dude from Warrior.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, thank you.
Tom Hardy could be a good choice.
There was a movie, I think a year or 2 ago, where he played twins. Irish.
Yes, the Mafia movie.
Exactly. If he could pull that friggin' thing off with 2 completely different personalities and things like that, this would go ahead and be a good role for him as well.
I could just imagine the memes of Tom Hardy because it seems like every role that he's in has his face covered.
Exactly.
You can just see the memes of this is why, and it's a picture of John, just the one tooth hanging down.
Yeah.
Like I could that's just a meme waiting to happen. But
Yep,
John
present.
Sint has gotten his teeth fixed. If you've seen episode
Yeah.
8, he's gotten his teeth fixed. So good job, man.
We're in post dentures now.
He is.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else we want considered here before we go further? I'm going to throw one out there that a couple of you put on your lists. And I saw it and I'm like, that's actually, being this is Florida, that actually makes a lot of sense.
I was gonna say I didn't know if it was one of my picks that I put on there. I think.
I don't remember who put it on there. He was not on my list, but when I saw it, I'm like, yes, because it really kind of fits. Channing Tatum.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on my list too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was on my list, but he's certainly a name I mentioned to Marissa.
You get the Florida connection there. He looks the part, young, in shape. So we've got Adam Levine, Daniel Radcliffe, Pete Davidson, Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, and Tom Hardy. So now we're going to start whittling this down, and I'm going to ask you to pick 2. And the top 2 vote getters will move to the next round, or however many vote getters we get move to the next round. And we're going to start with Mario. Mario, of those 6, pick 2 to go to the next round to play John.
I'm going with Adam Levine and Pete Davidson.
Nikki, you're up.
I think I'm gonna stick with my guy Pete, and then I'm gonna throw Harry Potter a bone and have Daniel Radcliffe in there.
Jeffrey, what do you think?
Well, I'm glad you threw Channing Tatum's name back out there because I'm remembering his role from Logan Lucky, and man, I really think he could fit right back in there. So I'm going to go with Channing Tatum, and I'm going to stick with my guy. I think because I think Jonah Hill could really pull this off as far as an actor role.
So right now we've got Channing Tatum with 1, Jonah Hill with 1, Pete Davidson has 2, and then both Adam Levine and Daniel Radcliffe have 1 apiece. And I'm up next. And I'm kind of torn here. I would love to see Daniel Radcliffe get a shot at this, so I'm giving him one of my picks. I really do think he'd be good. Pete Davidson he rubs me the wrong way, and it's probably for all the wrong reasons. I just don't think he's that funny or that charming or I won't say endearing because I don't know the guy, but the characters that I've seen him play, he doesn't come off as funny or charming to me. He makes me feel a little uneasy, which actually might make sense in this character. But I can't get past Channing Tatum. I really can't. So your 3 moving on to the next round to play John Finley are going to be Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and Pete Davidson. Now's the point where we have to go ahead and eliminate one of them. Nikki, eliminate one of those 3.
I mean, I think I'd probably eliminate Daniel Radcliffe. I just thought it would be. I mean, I could see it'd be funny, but I don't know if he could pull off this other thing. He's so British. So he's so British. So I'm gonna.
Daniel Craig isn't British, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is like there's British, and then he's British, so I just don't see it. But yeah, I mean, I think he could do it, and it would be funny. But I think we have some better choices. So
all right.
I'm gonna cut out Daniel.
All right, I'm gonna go next, and I've already said it. I'm not gonna waste it here. I don't see Pete Davidson in this role. That's just me. So I'm throwing my elimination to Pete Davidson. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, this is difficult because I don't really think or like Daniel Radcliffe or Pete Davidson. It's kind of just a toss up for me. But if I was going to go off of acting chops alone, I'd have to get rid of Pete Davidson.
Mario, cast your vote.
I'm getting rid of the little British kid, Daniel Radcliffe.
So with all this being said, we've got 2 votes for Daniel Radcliffe, 2 votes for Pete Davidson, 0 votes to eliminate Channing Tatum. Does that mean that Channing Tatum is our cast?
I
Hypothetically.
like that.
Does anyone have an objection to Channing Tatum playing John Finley?
I'm
No,
pro.
I think he's a solid choice.
Jeff, what do you think?
Well, I mean, he was one of the guys that I originally had picked, and I know that he was someone that I had originally thought of. Obviously, he was not the one that I had chosen when we sent over picks, but yeah, no, I think he'd be a great pick.
And we're back live on Facebook discussing our casting of Tiger King. And if you missed this, if you got cut off, we did cast Channing Tatum in the role of John Finley. And everyone seemed to be okay with that. There were no complaints, no concerns. So someone that wasn't even on the original casting list that we had just got cast in this movie, which is awesome.
Yeah, lucky him.
We're going to move on here. We're going to cast the next character on our list. That's Doc Antle. We're going to start with Doc Antle. I guess with me, actually. I'm going first here. Doc Antle. And when I think of Doc Antle, with the way they played it off in the show, I wanted someone that could kind of match that charisma, but someone that you could honestly believe, looking at him, could pull off what he's done in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So I'm looking for someone who's got charisma, but has a little bit of an edge to him. And I was watching a movie yesterday, and it hit me. This is outside the box thinking, I know. He doesn't look a whole lot like him. But hear me out here. Tim Allen as Doc Antle.
Were you watching the Santa Claus?
Watching Santa Claus?
Watching Galaxy Quest.
Well, I heard you. Cool.
Thanks, Jeff.
I listened.
My thought is that he's endlessly entertaining to watch. No matter what you say about him, you're going to watch him if he's in a movie. If you're watching a movie with him, he's the one that you're not taking your eyes off of. And when I was thinking back to watching Tiger King, I couldn't stop thinking about the character of Doc Antle. Like, we didn't need to even include him in this casting, except for the fact that for me, he was endlessly watchable on the show. And it left me with a ton more questions about him.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my pick. Mario, you're up next. Who do you have cast to play Doc Antle?
So, looking at him, his height, just the way he acts and things like that, I went with Tim Robbins. And I thought that would be a good choice because I could see him pulling it off just by what he's previously done. And thinking back to Cadillac Man when he was, opposite Robin Williams, that was kind of a crazy role.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, his face and what Tim Robbins looks like now is very identical to what Doc Antle looks like now. So I would go with Tim.
See, when I think of Tim Robbins, I think of four roles, right? I think of Shawshank.
Yep.
Which everyone does.
Bull Durham.
I don't think of him in Bull Durham. I think of Shawshank. I think of War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
You do?
Yeah.
People think about that movie?
I think of Mystic River.
Okay.
And I think of Anchorman.
Yeah. All right. Well,
he's hilarious in Anchorman. I'm okay with it. I love Tim Robbins.
He was one I thought of. He kind of came because of the look. He does look a lot like.
He does.
He does look a lot like him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely on my big list. I really enjoyed him in the role that he was in Green Lantern. The wildly popular movie.
Are you done? So your two choices so far, Tim Allen and Tim Robbins. And Jeff, you're going to go next. Who do you think?
Well, so I sent you my one pick when you had us whittle it down. I kind of regret that, and I wish I had gone with my other character. But I had gone with Jim Gaffigan. I think he brings a little bit of seriousness to the role.
Okay.
Doc Antle really found himself in a role where he was trying to be funny. He is charismatic, but man, there's really just a whole lot of weird going on there.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like Jim Gaffigan could nail that.
especially riding the elephant.
Yeah. What are we doing? We're riding the elephant into the boat path. Great. That's what we're doing.
So Jim Gaffigan, I don't think I've seen him act anything other than, was he in My Boys? That show on WGN?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
The only thing I've seen him act in, I think, is My Boys. But I could see, he looks a lot like him. Like, I think of the cast that we have here so far, that's the closest to the look.
He's certainly got the look, and he's been putting out a lot of movies lately. And I think that, because of what he's been putting out there and all the different types of roles he's been doing, he could really nail this one.
All right, Mario, you're up next.
I already went, buddy boy.
Nikki, I'm sorry.
I'm with you, Chris. I feel like this character, why he wasn't really like the main piece of it, was like the most fascinating to me. Like this whole thing, he lives in this harem and it's all craziness. The actor, I actually had someone immediately in mind when I thought of him. This actor, he's really done everything. He can pull off drama, comedy, doesn't matter. I picked Steve Martin.
Ooh.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay. can pull off comedy.
And I don't know if anybody ever saw that movie that he did with Tina Fey, Baby Mama, and he played kind of like the granola, and so that kind of that look was in that movie. But I could see him just nailing it. So
I could also see Doc Antle just out there yelling, "The cans! He hates the cans!" No Jerk fans, really? Come on.
Haven't seen it in a while.
All right. Is there anyone we want to throw out there as well to play Doc Antle? Anyone that we're thinking about that we didn't get a chance to name?
So I do have one, and this is the one that I kind of wish I had gone with. I like my pick of Jim Gaffigan, but I think if we're looking for charisma and just over-the-topness who could be able to fit into this role well, I would want to look at Will Ferrell.
Mm.
I like Will Ferrell. We'll go ahead and we'll add his name to the list here. Another name that popped into my head when I'm thinking about this is someone that he's older, so I don't know. Again, going by the age of whoever we cast for Joe, I don't know if this works, but when it talks about weird, I know his brother is very weird, and I could see him kind of filling a little bit of that same role, is Dennis Quaid.
You sure you don't want to go with Randy?
I'm sure I don't want... there is not an insurance company in the world that's going to underwrite Randy Quaid being in this movie.
And yet he would be the most fitting.
He would.
He would be.
But if you can't get John Belushi, you get Jim Belushi. I went with Dennis Quaid.
Well, I like the second guy on my list too, and I mean I'm hesitant to because we have a lot, but I do like the second guy that I picked. I mean, if you're gonna have crazy, why not go crazy? Mel Gibson.
Oh Jesus!
I love that pick, by the way. I love that pick.
I could see him putting all those women and
Right.
mesmerizing, changing their names. Or whatever they were called, from like Renee to.
We're looking for actors. We're not looking for the same person.
But I mean, he is one. He's kind of up for a comeback, and if you're gonna, why not come back in the movie about Tiger King?
That would actually make sense.
He's gonna go from Daddy's Home 2 to Tiger King.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, he's making Lethal Weapon 5 too, so let's just. Yeah. Okay. We're going to cap it there at 7. So your 7 that we have to play Doc Antle are going to be Tim Allen, Tim Robbins, Jim Gaffigan, Steve Martin, Will Ferrell, Dennis Quaid, or Mel Gibson. We really kind of ran the gamut there of actors that we could choose.
Yeah.
You would never believe these 7 are all up for the same role. I have a feeling if you told Tim Robbins he was up for the same role as Mel Gibson, he might quit.
I'm done. Just done.
I don't know. They're both a little out there. So
They are. They're just in completely opposite directions. All right, Nikki, we're going to start with you. Pick your 2.
That's hard because I kind of want to stick with my 2, but I like some options out there.
It's your prerogative.
See, I actually had Will Ferrell on my list, but I think I had him for someone else. I think I might have had him for another character. But I could see Will Ferrell. I mean, I can kind of see Wedding Crashers Will Ferrell in that role. I don't know. Just kind of has that demeanor, just of Doc. So I do like Will Ferrell. I still think though Steve Martin could really pull it off. So I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Steve Martin and Will Ferrell.
All right, Martin and Ferrell have 1 each. Jeff, you're next. Pick your 2.
Man, there's a lot of good names out there. I actually think, and call me original, I'm going to follow in Nikki's suit. I think for me, I would switch it up. Will Ferrell would be number 1 for me. But I do think, I think he's a little old for the role, but I think Steve Martin would be a great choice.
Well, there's nothing saying that this has to be 100% accurate from an age standpoint. We already cast Channing Tatum to play a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, or however old he's going to be, so... All right, Mario, you'll go next. Who do you want? Pick your 2.
Randy Quaid.
Okay, you get to pick 2, though. That's 1.
Oh, so sorry. I'm going to go with Will Ferrell and the Steve Martin. I like those 2 as well.
All right. Will Ferrell and Steve Martin are moving on to the next round. My picks don't matter.
Exactly.
If it did matter, mine actually would have gone to Will Ferrell and Mel Gibson. So.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. So there's 4 of us here. We're going to see how this works out. if you had to cast one person in this role, Will Ferrell or Steve Martin, who are you casting? And we're going to start with Mario.
I'm gonna go with the crazier of the two, and also I think, just like Nikki said, if we bring back the Wedding Crashers, Will Ferrell, that would work well. So, Mr. Ferrell himself.
All right. It is one vote for Will Ferrell. I'll go next. And I actually agree. He can do serious, so you could see him kind of turning on and off, but he can be so damn funny. And this role could really allow him to stretch and move in a couple of different directions. I'm all in on Will Ferrell for this. I think it's a great role for him. Nikki, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Steve Martin. I see the long ponytail and the facial expressions that he does. So I'm sticking with Steve Martin.
Jeff, are you going to put us into a two-way tie, or are we going Will Ferrell here? It's your decision.
Well, I think I'm going to make it easy on us today. Will Ferrell was the pick that I had actually hoped to make today. So I'm going to go Will Ferrell. I think he's right for the job. And I really just want to watch him riding on a elephant into the creek.
I am all on board for that. So once again, actually Steve Martin playing his banjo would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, this is South Carolina, not Georgia. Once again, we're going with someone that wasn't on the original list. This was a writing candidate. That's okay. That's why we're here. We're going to cast Will Ferrell to play Doc Antle on the Tiger King movie, and we're going to move right on to Jeff Lowe. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to go first. And when I was sitting down thinking about this, there's only one name that came to mind. And we may have to age him up a little bit, but I don't think it matters. This kind of odd cockiness that he has, and like, to me at least, it's an unfounded cockiness that he has, only led me down one path. And my wife is going to hate me for this. But the person I want to see play this role is Jeremy Renner. I want to see him bake his head. He looks a lot like him, and he really could pull it off.
That unfounded ego, definitely. I feel you there.
Right? Like, he just walked on the Avengers like he belonged there, Mr. Bow and Arrow.
Ugh,
and he fit right in.
Does he have a douchey Harley jacket too?
He does.
Oh, for sure.
Well, the entire Avengers Endgame was him wearing one giant douchey Harley jacket.
He owned multiple.
Gotcha.
But no, Jeremy Renner's my pick here. We're going to go with Mario. We are going to go with Jeff next. Who is your pick to play Jeff Lowe?
So I had a couple and had to whittle it down. And I think none of it matters now that you made your choice because it is so much better. But I actually kind of saw we had just watched the newest Tron with the boys the other day. And I think Jeff Bridges, I just want to see him in a do-rag and a baseball cap playing this role.
Didn't you see Crazy Horse? Like, wasn't that him, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I could see that. I mean, he's got the kind of just stoic, like, yeah, I'm in charge of everything, and what are you going to do about it? I'm going to take it all.
All right.
My pick is Jeff Bridges.
Well, your wife's pick is with me, by the way. Your wife is going Renner. All right.
That's fine.
Nikki, you're up. Who do you have playing Jeff Lowe?
When Jeremy Renner's, when I thought about him, I think I was thinking of him for more like a Joe Exotic, though, because he was younger. But the pick I did for this one, I went straight for the kind of the cockiness but a little bit of humor. And I went with a classic. I'm kind of going old school with Tiger King. I went with Bill Murray.
Ooh.
I love that pick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing with Bill Murray is you guys have all heard the stories about how he actually picks his roles and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, assuming he would just take it. I mean,
yeah, I know. I think if Bill Murray got this script, there's no way he doesn't do it.
I mean, he's unpredictable. I mean, the thing about it is like Bill Murray's so unpredictable on sets. You don't know when he's going to show up. I kind of feel like that's Joe in himself too. I mean,
That's true.
Jeff, you don't know. So, I don't know. He has that same cocky attitude, but a little bit funny. Bill Murray is a classic a-hole. Let's just face it. He does those roles really well.
I could see Bill Murray doing it. I really could. All right. Next up, we're going over to Mario. Name your Jeff Lowe.
So I was thinking, who can we find a real good kind of douchebaggish person when you want to go ahead and cast somebody? Then after watching several of the Oceans series, I'm thinking, I looked at this guy's face, looked at how he acts. Scott Conn.
Okay.
Yeah. He comes off as a dick anyway, so what's the difference?
That's true. He does.
Yeah.
I like Scott Conn. I like that pick.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
All right, so you're 4 so far. Jeremy Renner, Jeff Bridges, Bill Murray, and Scott Conn. And again, if you told Scott Conn he's on a list with those 3 actors, I wonder what he does. Like, you're up for a part against 2 Oscar-nominated actors and Bill freaking Murray. I don't think he's Oscar nominated. Maybe for Garfield too, but I don't know.
Was he nominated for
Was it Lost in Translation?
Lost in Translation?
Maybe.
Yeah, he was.
He's up there against 3 Oscar nominated actors and Scott Conn.
Well, Scott Conn is also like a Razzie nominee, so we're good there.
Yeah.
Which might fit in well here.
It might.
So,
Were there any other actors that we wanted to consider to play Jeff Lowe?
So I'm not even sure I want to throw his name out there yet, but there was another guy on my list who I thought had the exact personality, the guy that you definitely wouldn't want to trust. He's been in a bunch of mafia movies, and fortunately kind of looks exactly like him. But that's Michael Madsen.
Ooh, yeah, I could see that.
Michael Madsen. Are you going to bark all day, little doggy, or are you going to bite?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I think he really...
Hold on. Jennifer Sheplack has a write in here. She wants to have us consider Woody Harrelson as Jeff Lowe.
Woody Harrelson is
That's a solid choice.
I'm adding Woody as an option here. All right. So our options for Jeff, were there anybody else that we wanted to have considered?
I was thinking Buscemi.
Oh, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Really?
Just think about his work on The Sopranos when he was, I forgot the role that he played. I haven't seen The Sopranos, Jesus, in like maybe 10 or 15 years. But just the roles that he played there of mafioso and things like that, I was thinking Buscemi.
Yeah, see, for me, I think if we had gotten to cast Rick, I would have picked Buscemi for that role.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe next time. So Jeff Lowe is going to be played by one of the following actors: Jeremy Renner, Jeff Bridges, Bill Murray, Scott Conn, Woody Harrelson, Steve Buscemi, or Michael Madsen. And the song "One of These Things Is Not Like the Other" is playing in my head right now.
Yet he might be able to pull the look off the best.
And I'll go ahead and I'm going to start here with my 2 picks. I'm sticking by Jeremy Renner. I think it's a great pick. I love Jeremy Renner, and I think he's got the right ego and the right sensibilities to play this role and play it in a captivating way. And I'm actually going to take Jen Sheplack up on her choice as well. I didn't even think of Woody Harrelson, but the guy is interesting no matter what he does. So I'm giving Woody one of my votes. Nikki, we're going to go to you. Make your pick. Pick 2.
I mean, I still like Bill Murray, so I'm gonna keep Bill Murray in there. Woody Harrelson is a nice choice. I like him. Like, this is a movie that fits him. I just don't know if Jeff is the right character. I don't know, like something. I don't know if that's the right one for Woody. I
could see him playing the hitman.
I could see him making like a cameo type, or even like the head zookeeper. I mean, something in there. Like, I think it's a great movie for him. Whether or not that's the character, I just don't know.
Okay.
So, who was
Jeremy Renner, Jeff Bridges, Scott Conn, Woody Harrelson, Steve Buscemi, and Michael Madsen.
I'm gonna put Jeff Bridges on there. I mean, he can do anything, so I'd like to see him in that movie too. So I'm gonna go Bill Murray and Jeff Bridges.
So Bill Murray, Jeff Bridges, Jeremy Renner, and Woody Harrelson all have 1 vote. Jeff, make your pick.
So I'm going to go, and I'm going to stick with my Jeff Bridges. And I'm also going to go with Scott Conn. I think he's got the right personality for the role.
Okay. Mario, you're up. Make your picks.
I'm actually going to go the same pick as Jeff. So Scott and Jeff Bridges.
In a shocking turn of events, Scott Conn is going to face off against Jeff Bridges in our finals. Guys, if you don't know, Scott Conn just nailed the screen test. That's what it was. Like, he just showed up big in the screen test. Jeff Bridges or Scott Conn to play the role of Jeff Lowe. Does anyone want to try and sway us one way or another before we make our picks on the two?
Well, before we dive into that, I just want to say that Woody Harrelson is definitely in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't a real major character in the show, at least from the part I've seen. But he is already cast as Tim Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Which one's Tim Stark? Remind me.
He's the one that had ran Wildlife in Need. They'd kind of cut off to him. He'd be sitting there in his
chair,
Outback cowboy hat.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's Woody all the way.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's just kind of like this goofy, like are these people all serious kind of mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Woody Harrelson has to be in this movie. He's perfect for Tiger King, but yeah, so I think he's in.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Jeff Bridges versus Scott Conn. The only thing I'm going to say here is this. Guys, Jeff Lowe is right now 58 years old. So you've got an actor in his mid-30s and an actor in his 70s fighting to play a 58-year-old.
I thought he was older. Jeff Lowe's like 70.
I looked it up earlier. Hold on. Let me pull it back up again.
Jeff Lowe was born in 1950.
He most likely has the same sperm as Tony Randall.
Damn.
I think I'm reading here he's 67.
Oh, he is 67. Okay, you're right.
Damn.
No, that's a different Jeff Lowe, Jeff.
It is?
Yes.
Maybe I'm looking up the wrong Jeff Lowe.
He's a 55-year-old man.
Maybe this article from Unilad has the incorrect information.
The Jeff Lowe you're looking at. No, Tiger King fans convinced Jeff Lowe is actually Carol Baskin. No, it says 67 there. I don't know how old this guy is.
We'll go 67. Sounds good.
I think he's older than he puts off.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I must have seen somebody different too, but I think he's in his 60s, I think.
That's fine.
I think so.
All right.
He's going to be collecting the check soon.
Jeff Bridges or Scott Conn? Mario, make your pick.
Now that this has come to light, it's like, how can a 44-year-old go ahead and play a 67-year-old without prosthetic, over the face and things like that?
Dude looks 45, though. Give him credit. He looks great for his age.
Yeah.
When you got that type of wife, you have to do everything you can. And on top of it, did you see The Nanny?
Just that whole lifestyle just seems expensive to me. So no, I'm good.
Cheap ass. Anyway, I'm gonna change my vote and go with Jeff Bridges just because we need somebody with AARP on TV on the TV.
All right, Mario's locked in Jeff Bridges. Nikki, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Scott Conn choice. He has the right look, but I do think that the age is funny to have someone slightly older because that's kind of the point. Is he's married to this kind of younger girl. He's looking, and they're having a baby. He's looking at the hot nannies on the internet. So I mean, I think having a dirty old man is right for the role. So I'm gonna go Jeff Bridges.
Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if we're looking for a man who could play a dirty old man, we got to go Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges is going to play Jeff Lowe in our Tiger King movie. And we are moving on to the meat and potatoes of Recast That, the casting of Tiger King. We are down to our last two characters. Those characters are going to be Carol Baskins and Joe Exotic himself. We're going to start with Carol. I have a feeling there's going to be a little bit of a debate here, but we're going to start Carol with Nikki. Who is your choice to play Carol Baskins?
Okay, so this actress that I picked, she shows up in a lot of things. She wins a lot of awards. You don't really necessarily think comedy. Not that Carol. The thing about Carol Baskins is she's the most serious person in the documentary, but is also one of the funniest because she's serious, but she doesn't know that she's actually funny. So I went with this actress. She had the right look for me. I went with Patricia Arquette. she has the same crazy eyes, I think, a little bit. Patricia Arquette kind of plays that real, like, serious, but kind of plays the same thing. So I think she would kind of portray the comedy, but actually be pretty serious about it. So that's who I went with.
Another Academy Award winner.
Yeah, this is gonna be an expensive movie.
Yeah. It's all about the crazy eyes. Patricia Arquette has crazy eyes. I mean, she is a little crazy, so.
All right, Patricia Arquette is on the board. Jeff, you're up next. Who are you casting as Carol Baskins?
Well, my cast should make Leah happy, I think. Maybe not. I'm going to go with Lisa Kudrow.
Ooh, Phoebe Buffay herself. Okay.
Yeah, I think she's got the right. I think she's got the right kind of happy-go-lucky, just out there mentality, and I think she's got the look too. It'd be real easy to slide her right into that role.
I could see it. I've got some qualms, but I could see it. All right, I'm on board with Lisa Kudrow. And am I up next? Let's see. Yeah, I am up next. So, doing a great job of owning this, right?
You are.
Right. Who runs this show?
Somebody should.
The guy behind the scenes.
Sam does. Sam is running the show. He can mute us whenever he wants. So when I started thinking about who could play Carol Baskins, there's only one actress that came to mind. She doesn't have the biggest name, but this woman has been acting for years and years and years. And the first thing I remember seeing her in was a Michael J. Fox show, Spin City, years ago. She has since gone on to be in a lot of different shows and movies. She was in Nashville. She was in Friday Night Lights that my wife loves her in. She was in American Horror Story. And she looks a lot like Carol Baskins. My pick is Connie Britton. She is immensely talented. She can pull off a Southern accent, because I don't even watch Friday Night Lights, but her Southern accent in Friday Night Lights, her accent in general is spot on. I could see her nailing this role. You can bring Mario back. That's enough time out for him. Hey, he's back. Welcome back, Mario.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So that's my pick. Connie Britton was the top choice on my list. And last but not least is Mario. Make your pick.
So there's a movie coming out on HBO on 2 weeks, Saturday, called Bad Education. When I seen this trailer, I was like, holy crap, that is the person that should play her. She's identical. Hair, look, schnoz, face. Allison Janney.
Can we make a cheap movie, please? My God, you guys keep bringing up Oscar and Emmy award-winning actors and actresses.
You see her in this movie, she looks identical. And she could pull off, hey, you cool cats and kittens and all that other bullshit, lines that come up. And we all know what happens on Nebraska Avenue since we're all from Florida, because you usually don't go for a stroll.
Yeah, no one goes. Yeah, let's make that abundantly clear. No one just goes for a stroll down Nebraska Avenue. It does not happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about what happens in Nebraska, because I know Carol, and Carol's
litigious,
lawyer happy. Yeah,
it's a really odd place to go for a stroll. It was not something that would ever cross my mind. If I want to go for a walk at 2:00 in the morning, Nebraska Avenue's bottom 10 places in Tampa, I'm doing that at.
Bottom 1.
Yeah, it's up there.
And there is Jeff's intro into the lawyer. Bottom 1.
All right. Is there anyone else that we want to consider for the role of Carol Baskins?
My second choice on my list, and it's kind of ironic because we have the dude on the list. I actually had Julianne Moore as Carol Baskins. So I think she'd be good too. Again, Academy Award winning actress. She can play funny too, and she has that kind of that doe-eyed look. So I had Julianne Moore as my second choice.
Julianne Moore makes the list, and just a shout out here, my wife is a big fan of the Connie Britton pick. So is Jennifer Sheplack. So nice to see you again, Darren. Jeff, your dad has not weighed in on this particular pick at all yet, but. A couple of our viewers are liking my pick, and I'll just rally for Connie Britton here again. But so far, we've got 5 great options to play Carol. Is there anybody else we want to put on this list?
Not for me. This one was kind of difficult to come up with multiples.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I started to think about it, I kind of got one picture in my head, and that was really it. I couldn't really come up with many options.
I will say this: I had 2 on my list, and the other one was already named. So, like that's kind of where I landed. I only came up with 2 names, and they're both on here already. So,
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna roll with the 5 that we have: Patricia Arquette, Lisa Kudrow, Connie Britton, Allison Janney, or Julianne Moore. Oh, we are not making a cheap movie here, folks. Oh my lord! All right, you got to pick your 2, and we're gonna start with Jeff.
So I am going to choose. I'm gonna stick with my pick and go with Lisa Kudrow, but I actually really like the Patricia Arquette pick. I think that might be a really good choice for this role.
All right, Nikki, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with Patricia. I could see it. She has the same look. And then I'm also gonna go with Connie Britton because I did like her in Friday Night Lights and everything. I think she could pull it off as well. So I'm gonna go Patricia Arquette and Connie Britton.
Mario, you're next. Pick your 2.
I'm going with Allison Janney, and let's go Patricia Arquette.
So our votes right now are 3 for Patricia Arquette, 1 for Lisa Kudrow, 1 for Connie Britton, 1 for Allison Janney, 0 for Julianne Moore. I will say this. My initial list was 2 people. It was Connie Britton, it was Lisa Kudrow. I actually like Allison Janney more as a pick. So my pick is going to be Connie Britton and Allison Janney, which I just realized it was going to bring us to a tie anyway. So we have 3 moving on to the next round. You have got Patricia Arquette, Connie Britton, or Allison Janney. And we're going to eliminate one of those picks. Nikki, toss one of those names out.
I mean, I love Allison Janney. I think she's great in everything, but I don't know if I see her in this role. So I'm going to eliminate Allison Janney.
All right. 1 vote for Allison Janney. Mario, who are you eliminating?
Your girl, Connie Britton.
Jeff, who are you eliminating?
Yeah, I'm with Mario. I don't actually really know anything about her, so I'm going Connie Britton.
Your wife is making you sleep on the back porch tonight, my friend.
Mine or yours?
Yours.
Ooh.
Your wife voted for Connie Britton.
She did?
Yes.
Oh.
No, she didn't. Never mind. That was my wife.
Unless you have a new wife that we're unaware of.
No,
Yeah,
I can barely handle the
wow.
one. I can barely handle the one. I am no Doc Antle, all right? One is plenty.
Or Jeff Lowe.
Or yeah, for that matter.
Certainly not Jeff Lowe.
I mean, I like the Patricia Arquette casting. I like it more than I like Allison Janney now that I think about it. So my pick is going to be to eliminate Allison Janney.
Business.
But what that does is it gives us 2 eliminations. I don't know her. You all need to get some culture, first off.
No couch for me.
I've been on your couch. It's probably more comfortable than your bed.
You're not wrong. I do love our couch.
It's a very comfortable couch. So what that does is it leaves us with 2 votes to eliminate Connie Britton, 2 votes to eliminate Allison Janney, and 0 votes to eliminate Patricia Arquette. That means Patricia Arquette is going to be our winner to play Carol Baskins. And
I like
that's
it.
actually a really good choice, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get to Joe himself, let's go through our cast so far. Carol Baskins is going to be played by Patricia Arquette. Doc Antle is going to be played, oh my lord, by Will Ferrell.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah.
On an elephant.
Jeff Lowe is going to be played by Jeff Bridges. And Joe Exotic's husband is going to be played by Channing Tatum.
Yes.
And now we're down to the meat and potatoes here. We're casting Joe Exotic himself. Oh my gosh. What are we going to do? Okay. So this one's going to be more open than usual. I'm encouraging more of a debate. Let's hear your very big opinions. Who do you want playing Joe Exotic? And we're going to start with Jeff.
Well, we like starting with me today, which I prefer because I love hearing me too.
It's literally the first time we're starting with you.
So I had a lot of names that came to mind. But number one on my list was clearly Tom Cruise. No, it's awful. This has got to be Danny McBride. Danny McBride was made for this role.
Okay.
I mean, come on. We've got Kenny Powers. That was just the made-up version of this guy already. So,
Danny McBride. Hold on. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit here. Danny McBride is tall and chubby.
Not always.
He's not Joe Exotic thin unless he's going to start doing meth.
Well, it's for the role. It's literally what they get paid for.
Well, in that case, let's catch Christian Bale. We know we can lose weight in a hurry.
Seriously.
All right, Danny McBride is on the list. Nikki, you're up. Who's your choice?
You know, I had this one was the most fun too. I had like several names that came to my head, and you know, I liked a lot of people I thought about, but this guy, maybe, I mean, debatable age-wise, he might be slightly young, but I think it would be fine throughout. I mean, because he's kind of a younger type of character. This guy has the look. He's funny. He's a little crazy. I went with Dax Shepard.
I love the pick of Dax Shepard. He's younger. He's in his 40s. Joe Exotic, I think, is near 60 at this point.
57.
57. Okay, I knew someone was going
to. They have a lot of cuts to when he was a little younger in the movie.
They did.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
it was 5 years ago.
Aging Dax Shepard up would not be that hard. I like the pick of Dax Shepard. I really do. As I told you earlier, Nikki and I, our top two picks were exactly the same people. So, all right, Mario, who's your pick?
So I'm going with somebody who's an Academy Award winner because I just love to jump up your amount of money that you got to pay.
Lord.
He's 49. He's played Rayon in the Dallas Buyers Club. Played the Joker. He's Jared Leto.
Okay, if you're going to throw Jared Leto down my face, you do not bring up the freaking Joker in Suicide Squad.
No, I'm talking about Joker, the movie Joker.
That was Joaquin Phoenix.
Same shit to me. They all look the same.
Damn, that is very different.
Poor Chris.
They're not the same at all. Jared Leto. Okay. I could see Leto. I really could. I guess I'm going last here. So I had two names that came to the top of my head. One came rather quickly, and that was Dax Shepard. The other name came while watching the aforementioned Galaxy Quest. And I was watching, not even Galaxy Quest, I was watching a documentary on Galaxy Quest, and they were interviewing this actor. His character's name in Galaxy Quest was Guy, because his character died rather quickly in the movie in the TV show Galaxy Quest. But I looked at the actor now, and oh my God, if he's not like the spitting image of Joe Exotic. Also, I'm going to jump up my own butt here. Also, an Academy Award-winning actor for playing a little bit of a racist in a movie called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. My pick is Mr. Sam Rockwell. And I would challenge you here, Sam, if you could, go ahead and throw up a picture of Sam Rockwell. And I want you to just imagine this face next to Joe Exotic. I love how every time we tell Sam to do this, he gets rid of Mario. And let's take a look at Sam Rockwell here. I think that's Joe Exotic right there. You bleach the top of his hair blonde, you give him a mullet, you trim up the mustache. That's Joe Exotic. He's small in frame, he's skinny. That's Joe to me.
Yeah, I mean, could certainly see it.
And again, you guys want to go down this Oscar-winning actor and actress's role. Here's an Oscar-winning actor, a recent Oscar winner. I like the role, but let's go ahead. Let's open it up. We had a couple of people write in on the live chat here. David Spade, Joe Dirt himself. That's, I believe, 3 people that have wrote in for David Spade. Again, if David Spade's up for roles with Jared Leto and
so, just real quick, I think I can throw this up here, Sam. If I switch over, or you have it, I just shared my screen. I I just want to come and present to you what came to mind when I originally had thought of Danny McBride.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. Is it from the HBO show?
So you guys might remember, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years ago, there was an April Fool's
Yep.
that had gone out that Chris Hemsworth and Danny McBride were remaking Crocodile Dundee,
I would have loved to see that, too. I wish that was real.
which I was incredibly, incredibly disappointed it was not real. However, if you take a look at those pictures of Danny McBride, he is already Joe Exotic in these photos.
All right. Do we have a picture of him that we can see?
I don't know if Sam can get it. I know I shared my screen with him.
Well, let's see.
Oh, alrighty. Guess we can't do that.
So that's a no. We can't show the photo. I have no problem with Danny McBride if he can be skinny. That's fine. Let's bring Nikki back on the phone though.
Yeah,
All right. So we lost Nikki.
she'll be back.
Nikki, come back.
Nikki, come back.
Okay. So Danny McBride, you're really sold on Danny McBride to play Joe Exotic.
I am really sold on this. He's already got the character chops. I think he could easily do the look. Sam, I did send that picture of. I don't know if you got that one. But I actually I see it in the comments. I made it on my own comment though. I do really like the David Spade. Again, we know he's already got the chops because all you got to do is take Joe Dirt and get Joe Exotic.
That's my problem though. We've already seen him play that version of the character.
Yep.
I don't know that I need him to play Joe Exotic again.
Oh, dear God.
So there's the picture of Danny McBride in the Crocodile Dundee fake movie poster. Yeah, I mean, he looks skinny. I could see it. Look at that cap. Look at that hat. My God.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an option.
I could see it. My concern with not just him, but a lot of these choices here is being upstaged by the supporting cast. What's the chemistry going to be like? First off, with Danny McBride, isn't he like the same age as freaking Channing Tatum? Aren't they around the same age?
I'm not sure how old Channing Tatum is. I think Danny McBride's mid-40s.
Okay, so he's got like maybe 10. I think Channing Tatum's around my age or a little bit older.
Well, that's pretty old too. Jeez.
Shut up.
Actually, if you want to talk about age, Sam's the oldest here.
Yeah, Sam is the
that's
oldest.
True. Channing Tatum is 39, so they're not that far apart. But when you're looking at age really is just a number when it comes to looking at Channing Tatum and looking at Danny McBride. If you're looking at those two together, you can see an age difference.
All right, we're waiting on Nikki to join us here again before we get to voting. I'll just say this: when I think about the version of this movie that I want to make, there's a couple of ways you can make this movie. There really are. You can make it as the screwball comedy, or you can make it as a serious film. And when I see this movie, I don't want to say the charm, because I'm not a huge fan of Joe Exotic. I'm not a fan of Joe Exotic as a whole, but like the reason he was so endearing to me was the fact that he took himself seriously. Everything that he did took himself in a very serious manner, even though it was just bat crap crazy. And that's one of the reasons why I can't get behind like a David Spade or a Danny McBride, because I don't see them taking it in a serious manner. I've seen Danny McBride in a lot of things, Pineapple Express, Eastbound and Down. I don't see him as a serious actor. I see him as a comedic actor, and that's what he relies on.
Which is a good thing, because there's nothing serious about Joe Exotic.
He takes himself seriously, though.
But the problem is, it's not.
There's a couple of judges and lawyers and stuff like that would beg to differ. That's my problem with it. And that's why I would lean, myself personally, I lean more towards, not to toot my own horn here, but I lean more towards a Sam Rockwell, or even a Jared Leto. Jared Leto, I think, is a really good choice. I guess they're both a little bit young. part of my problem is we're casting people that are in their mid to late 40s to play someone who's mid to late 50s. So whoever we cast is going to have to be aged up.
Yeah, there will definitely be some of that, but fortunately, we have makeup. And that's really not a problem.
So I'll say this. We do have our first write-in vote. Our very own Sam Mike is writing in for Matthew McConaughey, a 6'3" man to play like a 5'7" Joe Exotic. He has a serious personality disorder.
Yes, Joe Exotic does. There's a lot going on there.
So our write-in so far are David Spade and Matthew McConaughey, as we anxiously await the return of Leah. Let's see what our listeners are saying.
Not waiting on Leah at all.
No, waiting on Nikki. Sorry. I have my wife on my brain. I am in love. What can I say? Shh.
Hey,
she's back.
I got kicked out, and then I had to log back in, and we got tornadoes, so it takes a little bit longer here in Bama.
I was going to say, just blame tornadoes.
You don't have to blame tornadoes. You can just blame Bama.
Pretty much. I mean, Wi-Fi in this area is
blame
spotty.
Canada.
So, Nikki, we're not going to get you caught up on all the banter, but we did have a couple of new names added in. So,
okay.
Our names right now to play Joe Exotic are going to be Danny McBride, Dax Shepard, Jared Leto, Sam Rockwell, David Spade, and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, those are good choices.
They're good choices. They are. And I'm really curious to see how we're going to whittle this down. So I'm going to go ahead and just say it. Pick two, and we're going to start with Jeff.
So I'm going to pick Danny McBride because he's the best choice. And, ooh.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Although
we're
I
adding
could
another
really...
one in here. So one of our listeners, Darren, has just added on Billy Bob Thornton.
That definitely fits the age range better. He's definitely older, but I could really see Billy Bob as a Rick.
I feel like he's another one, but he needs to be in the movie somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know that I see him as Joe. I don't see him as that enigmatic as Joe is.
Yeah. But I'm going to go Danny McBride, and I'm going to stick with the popular choice in the comments here with David Spade.
All right, so Jeff is all in on comedic actors. Nikki, what do you think?
I mean, I get the David Spade choice. I mean, he was like one of the first names that popped into my head, too. And I think it's just because of Joe Dirt. I just feel like he's already played it before. Like, it was sort of the same role, and I don't know if I really want to see David Spade again doing it. I do love David Spade. I think it's just, we just think of him automatically because it was kind of a similar character that he's played before. I still like my guy Dax Shepard. I think he's good for the role, and I'm gonna go with Sam Rockwell. So stick with my people.
I'm just going to throw some quick stats out there. David Spade is 55, also 5'7".
Okay.
He's the right. I mean, he's like exactly the right. He's the exact right look. I guess it's just because I've seen Joe Dirt, so it's just kind of seems
Joe Dirt in real life. Yeah.
I kind of feel like Joe Exotic is like being Joe Dirt, in like that is his persona.
You got to wonder if he took some inspiration from that.
Yeah, I think he took inspiration from Joe Dirt.
Who took inspiration from Joe Dirt?
Joe Exotic. I know.
Joe Exotic. Yep.
Is there any logic behind any of these people's choices? And
No.
All right. I'll go next. We'll let Mario finish off the initial round of voting here to play Joe Exotic. I go back to my original point that the person Joe Exotic took him, while he did wild and crazy and zany things, he took himself very seriously. I think he loved fame. He loved being on TV and all that, but I think he took himself very seriously. So I can't see myself casting him a Danny McBride or a David Spade for that reason. I don't see them as serious actors. Now, if I want an actor to play it, I want someone who's got some acting chops, but I also want someone who's done serious work before. And to me, there's three names on here that kind of fall into that role. It's Jared Leto, it's Sam Rockwell, and I've seen Parenthood. I know the guy can act. It's Dax Shepard. Of those three, I personally am not a huge fan of Jared Leto. I'm sorry. He's a good actor, but I just don't jive with him for some reason. For me, the best choice to play him is Sam Rockwell, and I don't think that's debatable. But the two that came to mind were Sam Rockwell and Dax Shepard. I also think Dax Shepard and Sam Rockwell, just their facial, the way their faces line up, it lends them to being aged up if we need to age them up. So my choices are going to be Sam Rockwell and Dax Shepard. Mario, you're up. Mario, you're muted.
Damn you, Sam. So, when I sent you my picks, it was Jared Leto and Dax Shepard. I seen specifically the meme of Jared Leto with the stuffed tiger and things like that. I'm still going with those two specifically. Dax and Jared.
Okay, so here we find ourselves in a little bit of a conundrum. Dax Shepard has 3 votes. Sam Rockwell has 2. Danny McBride, Jared Leto, and David Spade all have 1 vote each. So, if we're kind of moving this over, that brings over Sam Rockwell and Dax Shepard as our 2 choices, unless Jeff or Mario want to make a push to try and sway Nikki or myself off of our picks.
Well, with Jared, you could specifically see from his previous work, he has been able to change himself into the character and also give a performance where he doesn't need the fame like, what's his face, Tiger King himself. And also he could sing. Not like he needs some other band to go ahead and make believe that he could sing.
So is this movie going to be called 30 Seconds to Tiger King?
It is. It's 30 Seconds to Tiger.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't
Or Tiger Mars.
I don't really think that I have any way to sway you. I think Sam Rockwell is a terrible choice. There's no debate about it. It's just there's nothing there for me. But I can get behind the Dax Shepard. So if we're gonna move people on, I'm gonna go in on all in on Dax, and we'll just have to ride that wave.
All right, so we're going to move over Sam Rockwell and Dax Shepard to the next round. And one of those two is going to play Joe Exotic, guys. There's no getting around it. Whether or not you're on the Sam Rockwell train or not, one of those two is going to play Joe Exotic in our version of Tiger King. If we were making Tiger King the musical, Jared Leto would probably have a spot on here.
I liked the Jared Leto choice. I liked Dan McBride too. I mean, they're all good choices. I thought we had a pretty good list. So, but
if you're listening, Broadway, you already have Lion King. You can copy a lot of some of the makeup. And just bring that over and make Tiger King the musical a real thing.
Oh God!
Imagine what that would look like.
Well, then we have to go with Matthew McConaughey, then, right?
True.
We'd have Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto in the same movie again.
Because we're just making this movie, but with giants compared to the real people.
All right. Marissa is not a fan of some of our picks here, guys. It's a good thing that I don't care about Jeff's wife's opinion, though.
Ho ho!
I don't. No, we're gonna pick this here between Sam Rockwell and Dax Shepard. Who's gonna play Joe Exotic in our version of Tiger King? And Jeff, you've already made your opinion clear, so I'll let you go ahead and lock in your vote now. Who are you picking?
I'm going with the not Sam Rockwell choice, please.
Why don't you like Sam Rockwell? You seem to have like a personal vendetta. For you. It's Sam Rockwell and Marvel movies. You don't like either one of them.
Oh no, I enjoy Marvel movies.
Even the ones with Sam Rockwell?
No, those are the worst. No, I don't see him in this movie. I don't see where you see the seriousness of this movie. Considering we just cast Will Ferrell as Doc Ansel. Let's throw Sam Rockwell in there.
That's what, to me, Doc Ansel isn't a serious character. But this is a movie about let's be clear, this is still a movie about like attempted murder.
I mean, it's slightly about attempted murder. It's mostly about people with personality disorders. And Sam Rockwell is he's not
I'm not trying to fight you on it. You're going to make your choice, and I have no problem.
I'm not going back on it. I just don't see the zaniness out of Sam Rockwell. I think he's too serious. And I can see that out of Dax. So I'm going Dax.
All right. Jeffrey is locked in with Dax. Nikki, make your choice.
Yeah, I mean, I was on board with the Sam Rockwell. He was one of my choices. And so I'm on board with that choice, but I do, of the two, I mean, Dax was the first one that came to my mind. And I kind of see where Jeff is saying, like, it is a goofy movie. I mean, this is like a bunch of silliness and everything, and I think it's going to be portrayed silly. I don't think it's going to be this very serious movie. But I was thinking a little bit, though, this was kind of the trick of casting it from the minor characters up to the lead characters. I'm not 100% sure does Channing Tatum fit with Dax Shepard. I don't know. Are they too similar in age and stuff like that? They kind of have a similar, I don't know. So that was my only hiccup now.
So here's the question, not to cut you off here, but if we do cast Dak, do we have to go back and relook at the John Finlay character?
I don't know if it's that dire. I mean, I think they can make it work fine. I mean, they're both, good actors.
They are 6 years apart.
Yeah.
So there's something there.
Sorry, we might be having tornado warnings. Anyway, so I'm going with Dax Shepard though. I just think he looks the part. I think he is tall. Someone made a comment. He is probably too tall for the role, but again, this is I don't think it's exact. Trying to get exactly to look like these people. I think they could do enough with makeup and make it silly. So.
All right.
Also, if we're throwing a little more evidence,
Jeff, did you just fall off the face of the earth?
From my birthday in 2017, where Sam Rockwell specifically stated, "Playing Hicks is not where I come from, but they keep throwing me on a horse."
Ooh.
To be fair, we're not trying to throw him on a horse, trying to throw him to a tiger.
So he may not be happy about this choice. I'm just saying.
You didn't have a choice. We're gonna cast him. It's fine.
There's no money left over for him. Let's be honest.
That's true. We've got
that Shepard is probably cheaper, so we're trying to save money.
We have 2 Academy Award-winning actors. We don't need a third. Mario, we are 2-0 to Dax Shepard. It's up to you. What do you think?
Oh, so let's go back to, this attempted murder situation. Can I just say, what imbecile is going to hire a person for $3,000? That's all I want to know. Like, come on. If this was the Italian mafia, you're not going to go ask Uncle Vito to go ahead and spend $3,000, okay?
He also thought he could be governor of Oklahoma, too. So.
And president, so.
Okay, now back to your pick. I'm going with my second choice, Dax Shepard, because just like Jeff, I could give 2 cares about Sam Rockwell.
Oh, see, I'm not the only bad guy here.
You're not, because I'm also going with Dax Shepard.
Oh, see? Oh.
I had it down to the 4 of them, and if it's my choice here, I'm going Dax Shepard, and I'm going back and I'm recasting John Finlay. But I'm not casting with any of the picks that we have on there this side of maybe Pete Davidson. Even though I don't see Pete Davidson in this role, I would go younger with that character because Dax Shepard, we're going to have to age up. So we're going to have to get someone who looks even younger to play John. But I'm okay with it. Like, we can make that work. Dax Shepard was the first choice that came to my mind when we did this. Sam Rockwell came to mind second, but you want someone who can be serious yet funny at the same time. Dax Shepard's a funny freaking dude, but he can play serious too.
Yeah, I mean, you referenced Parenthood earlier, and if you want to spend a few days crying, just try to get through that series. You can definitely get some seriousness out of Dax Shepard.
And I could totally see him doing the music videos. I mean,
oh, for sure.
They would be great.
So I will say this: him and Edward Norton have been going back and forth on Twitter about which one of them is going to play Joe Exotic.
Oh, they're
yeah.
Edward. I didn't even think about really Edward Norton, but
yeah, I'm surprised he didn't come up a little bit,
really,
but well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't come up, but I don't see it.
No. I see him before David Spade.
Other than visibly seeing it, I just don't see him playing that actor or playing that character now.
Well, let's take a look here. So, Dax Shepard was a Nikki pick. Who had Channing Tatum?
I had him in my original.
Yeah, I had him as a second choice on my original.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he was a write-in.
Nikki also had Patricia Arquette. Who had Will Ferrell? Jeff, you had Will Ferrell?
Yeah, he was my second choice.
And Jeff had Jeff Bridges. Did you both have Channing Tatum?
I believe both of us had Channing Tatum. Didn't Nikki?
Yeah, I had him as my second.
Yeah.
pick.
So we have cast 2 characters from the Jeff Gore world, 2 characters from the Nikki Mott world, the 1 character that melds both of those worlds together. Your final cast in our version of Tiger King, the movie. Joe Exotic is going to be played by Dax frickin' Shepard. John Finley played by Channing Tatum, who we can use some of that Marvel technology on and make him 21 again. Carol Baskin's played by Patricia Arquette. Doc Antle is played by none other than an elephant riding Will Ferrell.
Yes.
And Jeff Lowe is played by Crazy Heart himself, Jeff Bridges. Now I have to ask the 3 of you here, and our listeners on the live stream, would you go see this movie?
Yeah,
I mean, especially when we're throwing in the Woody Harrelson cameos. I mean, we're throwing in Billy Bob Thornton in there somewhere. It'll be a good movie.
Yeah, we definitely need Matthew McConaughey in there too as the manager, John Rinke.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to GoFundMe now. I'm going all in.
Well, I'm looking at this. If I'm eyeballing this movie is a with the actors that we're casting, and the wildlife we have to look. You're probably looking about a $60 million budget film.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
most of your budget's pretty much going to the actors because it's not like you need big, crazy sets or anything like that, or crazy. So, I mean, this is the kind of the small movie that you use your budget for top names. So.
Yeah, and I hear there's a tiger farm you could probably get pretty cheaply these days available. So.
That's true.
You already got yourself built right in.
Just go borrow some from Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Hey, you can get a tiger for $2,000. It's not going to be that expensive of a movie.
Well, yeah, train him though.
Hey, listen, our stimulus checks are all coming in on Wednesday, supposedly.
We should all have a tiger.
Exactly.
Just go in on Tiger.
Exactly.
Leah, we're getting a tiger with our stimulus money, just so you know. I don't know where we're going to keep it. Can they jump fences? Like, we have a 4-foot tall fence in our backyard. Will they jump that? I wonder how long I can keep it in my backyard before someone notices.
Well, according to this show, a little too long.
All right, everybody. That is going to be your Recast That. For Recast That, I have been Chris.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Mario.
Nikki.
Everyone, have a great week or 2 weeks. I don't know when our next episode. Our episodes are going to be coming out every 2 weeks, just so you guys know. We've already got out right now. If you have not listened to our back catalog, Die Hard, Back to the Future, and Mrs. Doubtfire. The episodes that we have coming up are going to be Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yes, that's real.
That's a great one.
And even if you haven't heard of this, which I had not, this episode is fantastic.
We have an episode of Top Gun that features Jeff and I actually pretty much fighting over the casting of Goose. We have an episode where I fight with Jeff's wife for the Da Vinci Code over who's going to play Robert Langdon.
I'm sensing a common denominator here.
Yeah. We have since casted an episode. It's the last name of Gore, by the way. That's our least common denominator, is the last name of Gore. We have since casted Mike, Nikki's husband Mike. Mario and I sat down and we just casted not Mission Impossible, Face Off. We recasted Face Off. Which I
feel like
love.
Nicolas Cage needs to be in Tiger King as well somewhere. Just throw him in.
You know, he was on the long list for Joe for me.
Yeah.
For Nick Cage?
I thought about him.
Yeah.
No. Nick Joe is the guy that's living in Norway. Nick Cage is the guy living in Norway now. That's Nick Cage.
Yes.
And then Nikki, Mike, and I and Leah sat down and recorded our first of 2 episodes earlier this week on The West Wing. And we were going to try and get the other one in before Baby Mott gets here.
That's Tuesday, so.
Okay. So maybe not. We're going to try and get that one in here relatively quickly. If not soon, it'll be when Nikki gets back.
I gave her a stern talking to that it has to be Tuesday because I'm not going to the hospital in the middle of these tornadoes. So, not happening.
Yeah, no.
By the time this episode comes out, little baby Penelope might actually be here.
Yeah.
So, but everyone, that has been it for Recast That. We hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great week.